There will be more. There will be more opportunities.
Running in our little, like, the fringe. Like, oh my God, we gotta get to the park.
The booty fringe, like, flapping in the wind.
Casa de Naz.
Casa de Naz.
Casa de Naz.
Ready on 8.
Ready on 8.
It's popping.
Team vibes.
All right.
Please tell the viewers who you are.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Amaka Umeh. I am a mostly theatrical performing artist. Have a little bit of a musical theater background, but for the most part, the last few years have been solid plays. I live and work in Ontario, so we're home base in Toronto. I'm COVID isolating in Stratford right now.
And Diane, what's poppin'?
Hi, I'm Diane Jean-Louis. I am an actress and dancer here in Toronto, Canada. I moved here about 6 years ago from Calgary, where I was taught and fell in love with dance by the beautiful Sabrina Naz. And just been working hard, making those connections, getting the jobs, and just really trying to find myself as an artist in the dance and acting community. Yeah.
I love that. I love it. You guys are huge inspirations to me. And I love all of the great, exceptional, dope work that you have been doing. I love scrolling and watching all the good stuff you guys have been up to.
Back at you, mama. Back at you.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Let's talk about it. What was I doing? I was watching our video the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I, especially the rehearsal footage that you send me, Amaka, and I was like, times, like what good times. And also soca. Like, we need to talk about soca.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. What do you like? How do you guys feel about the genre of soca?
Yeah, it's like full on. It's 100%. You can never come in half-assed. Like, you can't bring half yourself. You have to bring your whole self, your whole vibe. And like, I wasn't really familiar with soca until really Diversity Performing Arts Club of Calgary and Casa with you. But I find, like, because Carnival, comes every year, and the artists produce new music for every year's Carnival, I find it just so deeply tied to like memory and to like the passage of time, because you can look back at this and be like, this Carnival was all these songs were the biggest hits, and then the next one comes, and I just love how it renews itself constantly.
For me, I was kind of familiar with soca a bit, like soca and compa music, but into like Diversity, like that's when like I really like got into it. And for me, whether my energy is at like 20-50%, whenever I hear soca music, it's just like, it just gives me the energy to like just dance and go. Like, I'll be like chilling, then soca comes on, and I'm a completely different person, and it's like all this energy and good time. Like Amaka was saying, just every year is like a different song or like the different hits. So every time like I remember like that song comes on and I remember, I'm like, oh, this was like 2013 diversity when we went to Edmonton, and like it was there's this group of people, and like it's like so specific to the memories that I have. So yeah, and I still listen to it to this day.
Of course you must. You know, it's interesting. I went through a whole thing where it was hard for me to actually listen to soca during the beginning of the pandemic. It just would bring me back to those times of, you know, carnival, of gathering, and it kind of threw me for a loop that that's going to look different for a while. I believe that it will return to the way that we know it, but it'll take some time. But then once I got over myself and I allowed myself to really just sit and enjoy, it does bring you right back to those fetes, to those carnivals, to those shows, to those Caribbean night galas, to, it's super special. It's super positive. Maybe I don't know tons of genres in the world, but I feel like there's no other genre like soca. You know?
No, there's really not. Yeah. I
It's
think it's 100% free and, like you say, positive, optimistic. It just like encapsulates like the island vibe, or at least like the hope of people, no matter what situation they are, to like the will to live, like the urge to just live while you can, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And from a dance perspective, I mean, I think soca is really interesting because it's fairly new in the dance world. It's just so beautiful to see that, yes, soca choreography is also now part of the conversation of dance. Because soca, if we're looking at what makes up the musical style, it's so vast. And you have to really look at the islands and the island that it's coming from. The islands are just, they're a diaspora, right? They're an amalgamation of so many different cultures coming together. So I think that's reflected in the music, and then that's reflected in the movement. And it's because it's fairly new, I think it's awesome to see how all of these different choreographers all over the world are interpreting it. When I look back and I see what we did in MOR, I'm like, yes, it's great. We're all adding to what soca looks like from a dancer's perspective, because it doesn't necessarily have the history like dance hall, right? Or the structure or the terminology, right? Like dance hall has, like hip hop has. So to be a choreographer in this genre right now is a very special thing, because you're adding to
You're writing history.
It feels like it.
Actually creating it. No, it is, because I think too, like, it's great to have this work, especially like you say, soca choreography is a fairly new thing. And I think that's part of why, like, I'm so inspired, and like I so admire your choosing to document these films, because like there was nothing out there really like that back then. And now to see how far we've come, to see like soca choreo is amazing. It really is. It feels it feels like you planted a seed, or you're part of this seed that was planted, and now there are all these offshoots and outgrowths. And I guess maybe a bunch of people had the same idea kind of around the same time. And
totally.
It ends up being part of this like network now, but
totally. Oh, so then we made it. Do you guys remember anything from that rehearsal process? Like 6 years ago.
Ooh. I remember being very intimidated. I was like, this is first Casa de Naz anything that I was doing, and I was the youngest person there, and I was just like, oh my god, stress.
That was special.
Yeah.
It was special to have you there because, you know, all of us, we all were coming from the youth group, Diversity Performing Arts Club of Calgary, you know, and kind of growing up through that world. And this was also I was stepping into creating my own collective. So I thought it was so special to have you there, Diane, because I knew that like you were, like I taught you in DPAC in the youth group, and now you're stepping into like my more mature platform, you could say. And so I remember I was like, look at it, back in the building.
Yeah, what I remember, was like I had been in Toronto for uni and had graduated, for college rather, come back the summer that we did this.
Yeah.
And I had just been so like removed from the scene. I hadn't really, you know, obviously I couldn't be part of diversity anymore, and I had taken like 1-2 little dance hall or hip hop classes out in my college program, but mostly it was focused on musical theater dance, which is ballet and tap and jazz. So I was feeling really intimidated coming back as well, because I felt like I don't know how to I don't know if I remember like how to get back into this skin, like into this shell. But it's like, not like it's like riding a bike and it's like super easy and anyone can pick it up. But I think it was great to have, you know, Sabrina there, who had been my peer in diversity, and Diane there. Just like, it was like coming back home, you know, like it really felt like family. But, you know, obviously some time had passed and, you know, changed and evolved, and I was always like, just always looking over at Diane and Carmyne, like, because despite being young, like, you're fire, like, so talented, so smart, like, you pick up choreography so fast.
Yes.
And I was just like, okay, yeah, all right, I gotta keep up, I gotta set my game up, yeah. And we didn't have a lot of time. We had like, very limited time.
I don't know why it's such a theme for in Casa that like there's the last minute costume fashion addition. Like we were hot gluing and stitching up until 10 minutes to going on stage to open for Kes the Band.
For Kes the Band. I don't know. It adds to the drama. It adds to the excitement. You know, it's like, do we dare test fate in this way? Absolutely. And we always make it. It was exciting, you know, to have the crowd really feel the vibe.
Right. You know, we were local. They recognized us, and it was pretty special. Big up Calgary Soca for having us, because they were the ones that brought Kes and his band for Carafest 2014. And then, you know, they invited us and had us open for him. So it was crazy. That was Carafest 2014. How fun. Do you guys want to watch the film?
Oh my goodness. Yes, please.
Yeah.
I think it's so great. Like, I really enjoy it still to this day.
That day was so fun.
It was, a lot was going on set. Shout out Sate.
Yeah, it's hectic though, Sabrina, like being the director, the choreographer, the, you know, costumier, the production designer, the assistant, like everything on just your shoulders. Kudos.
Yeah. Blessings. And I must big up Aran Wilkinson-Blanc. He is, you know, my artistic ace, my go-to guy when it comes to the film. And so I have to big him up too, because he really killed it on the lens, you know. Okay, you guys.
Sorry.
Yes, she ready. Let's watch MOR.
Bless it.
Hold on.
Starting off with the posing. Like, this is Charlie's Angels, but they weren't ready. Like, oh my god.
Look.
I remember I was like, I want to do Carmyne's doing it too. I'm flexible. It's not that.
I know. I was like, I don't have those tricks. I'm just gonna do some theater, do some theatrics.
Let's go.
Oh wow! I remember I was like, just be sexy.
Party starting. Yeah, sexy is not my niche. I'll just say that.
I really didn't know what it was at the time. I was
Oh my
revising.
Also, like the straightest arms I've ever choreographed in my life, and just push.
It's good. It's shapes. It's angles.
Go 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 go.
So cool.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Front.
Oh, and now it's so warm.
Split screen in this cool little venue.
Look at you.
I love
I love
This
So yeah.
this came out of nowhere. I think it was like just built, so it was like perfect. So I was like, oh, lighting was perfect. I'm pretty sure we were the first people to film there too. So,
Beautiful.
oh god.
I remember being so slippery. I love how you shake at that part.
Me
Like, I'm so happy. We're so happy. Oh my
This is
god.
clean.
Cha cha. Ah, yes. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Forward. Oh god.
Moment of truth.
Oh my
Moment of
god.
truth.
So slippery.
Remember when we did this, like, it felt like 500 times.
Over and over and over and over again. Because it's
Oh.
harder than it looks.
Oh yeah.
And we have to get all the angles, you know?
It was so
Oh.
tiring. Oh, these stairs. Oh god.
I just. Oh my
When
god.
it's like, we're gonna do the choreo on the stairs, and I'm like, how?
I know.
Where's the?
What's really happening? Also, like, I'm almost popping out of that bra. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That bra was done after this.
What did you?
Ooh. Miss you, Carmyne. Wherever you
Shout out,
are.
Carmyne.
Miss
That
you.
was really a special time. Wow.
Wow. And
That was a lot of energy. That was a lot of.
yeah.
This.
And I don't even think we were coffee drinkers. Like, where does it come from? You know? I don't think we were like shooting back espresso or, you know, taking pre-workout. That was pure. That was all heart. That was all soul.
That was
Yeah.
all heart. Also, I think I was rumming at that point in my life as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I have to ask, like I've been asking this whole series, what is a piece of advice you would give yourself in that there piece, or even just at that point in your artistic life? A throwback advice to your younger self.
You know, like, visualize your highest self and show up as that. Visualize your best self and show up
Hey.
as that person.
I would say, don't be afraid to come out of your shell sooner rather than later.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I love that as well. Because look at what's outside of the shell.
Yeah, bye, Shell.
And then, what is something that you would say to your future artistic, creative self?
Work more. Don't need to use the word more so much, but I was listening. Yeah, this is a quote by an acting teacher named Tom Todoroff, and he says, "It's just more work than you think. It's just more work than you thought, you know." And it's the thing. I think there's kind of a similar thing to like how you rehearse is how you perform. So like, don't rehearse 50% because then your performance will be 50. It's like you want to come prepared, come all the way prepared. And it's just more work than you think thing he's talking about, you know, like what you've done before you get to stage or to set.
Mm.
You know, that part is more work, because when you've done all of it, then you can come to performance and feel ready and just play. But before the play comes, you gotta work. So it's just more work than you thought.
I love it.
Run towards the things that scare you the most.
I hear that.
That's beautiful.
Because once you overcome those, you just flourish from there.
I love that so much. Y'all, thank you so much. I love
you.
each and every one of you so much. I am so grateful, and just blessings. And I look forward to the day that we can really get on bad
Yes, Lord.
on the road for Caravana one of these days when it comes.
I'm ready.
Yeah?
Ready.
My hips
Yep.
are oiled.
I'm very excited for that.
I'm hydrated. I'm rested.
I love it. Okay, well, you guys take care. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.